guys, welcome to Crash Test Indie Weekly. This is episode number 8, and today we have a really exciting show for you. Today we are doing or featuring Ashes of the Singularity, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But first of all, let's feature our co-hosts. Our co-hosts are, we'll leave the elevator music on for a moment. Our co-hosts are Luke, or Lapsapnow. Welcome, Luke.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Deluks. Good to be here, as always.
Excellent, excellent. And we also have Patchouli, hailing from Ukraine.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today, Patchouli?
A bit tired because I just been doing a bit of favors for my family, but otherwise I'm just fine.
Well, you know what? If you need me to talk to your family, I will. I have no problem with that. Just, put them on the line and I will talk to them and say, you know what? You gotta go easy on Patchouli. He's got stuff he needs to do on Sunday morning.
Yeah, like sleep all day.
No. Like, do a stream. No. Fail. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show, and welcome everybody that's watching the show. If you are watching this on YouTube, we do live stream this every Sunday, except for last Sunday, and Patchouli got very mad at me for not live streaming last Sunday because of the holiday, but most every Sunday we live stream, and this is actually number 8 of the show, and this week, like I said, we are doing Ashes of the Singularity, which, actually, I'm going to turn off the elevator music now. It's time. Now it's gonna be in my head all day. That's awesome. It's the best music ever. Thank you. That's compliments of Admiral von Schneider, in case you're wondering. He introduced that to me right before the show, and I'm like, that is so amazing. But anyway, so today we are talking about Ashes of the Singularity, and this is one that actually Luke brought up quite some time ago, and is just recently released as full version 1 this week, I think on March 31st, released at in Canadian $49.49 or full price of $54.99. It's a pretty hefty bill. It's a very expensive game, I think, relatively speaking, and that's why I was a little hesitant at first to even take this one on, because RTS, there's not a lot of RTS that appeal to me nowadays. RTS kind of died with StarCraft for me because of APM, because of CPM, because, clicks per minute, actions per minute. Like, how fast can you go? The competitive nature of RTS really killed the spirit of RTS for me. But Luke, you played a lot of Supreme Commander, did you not?
Yes, I've played a lot of Supreme Commander and Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, and there's also still a very alive community called Forged Alliance Forever, and I play a bit of that as well.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. So yes. What is this community like? Just a bunch of people that play that battle against each other, and do they have a ladder or something set up?
They have an entire little launcher that someone programmed for them. It's actually quite good. We have the FAF people who have actually been maintaining. FAF. They all FAF around with their Supreme Commanders, who have been maintaining Supreme Commander Forged Alliance for quite a while now. You can actually just go Google Forged Alliance Forever, and you should find it immediately.
Wow, you know what? I mean, I knew the game was still alive, but I didn't realize to what extent. Like, I didn't know the community was still
very alive,
still thriving like that. Patchouli, have you played much Supreme Commander?
Oh yes, definitely. I played the original Supreme Commander, Forged Alliance, Supreme Commander 2, and I can totally see why there's still a live community for Forged Alliance. It's an RTS that I think still hasn't been topped by anything. That's just the Singularity is actually really trying. It has quite a bit of similarity to the Supreme Commander series.
Even more than that, what I found with Supreme Commander, and why I don't think there was really much of a competitive scene with Supreme Commander, was there? Like a professional, like an esports. I don't think there was much of that.
Yeah, I don't think that was ever a thing.
Because the game wasn't designed in such a way so that if you worked really quickly, you would win the game. Whereas with like StarCraft is, like, everything's about how quickly you can hit the keyboard. Whereas with games like Supreme Commander, it was more about strategy. It was really the basis of the game was strategy, and that fundamental piece sort of got lost with StarCraft. Not necessarily lost. There's still strategy, of course, a lot of strategy involved in StarCraft, but it's almost more about CPM or APM, actions per minute. Whereas Ashes of the Singularity seems to be coming back to the soul of really what strategy is meant to be, and it's not about how quickly you move, it's about how carefully and intelligently you move.
Yes, I can see that because a lot of units here have a relatively low movement speed, so you can get points of the map to another really, really fast. But still, to be fair, Supreme Commander has a great deal of micromanagement.
Oh, sure.
And you still gotta do things really fast, but it's indeed more tactical and strategic than StarCraft.
I agree. And this Ashes is the Singularity. Now, I've been learning a lot about this in the last 48 hours. As a matter of fact, like I really didn't know much about it until the last 48 hours. But, you know, listening to and watching a lot of the dev streams and playing it a little bit, realizing, you know, they've made the game, designed the game in such a way that they've tried to even make less of the need to manage every individual unit by being able to group units into one monster force that acts as a single unit. So again, you know, like any of these games, you definitely, if you're fighting against somebody who's quicker, they're going to do better. But if there's going to get to a point where you sort of reach that critical mass where both of you are just as fast, and the game is more about strategy than anything else. So whereas I think that's different with StarCraft, which is almost all about speed. Like, it's really, in my opinion. But anyway, so what is Ashes of the Singularity? So before I get started here, actually we will launch this. Let me just eliminate my Steam page here, and we will just get this going here. So, Luke, how much of this have you played so far?
Quite a bit, actually. I have. I've played as both the, you know, I haven't done the campaign because I didn't even know that was even out yet. But I've played quite a bit. I haven't played multiplayer though, because obviously, internet and connecting all the way to the other side of the world isn't extremely stable. But yes, I have been playing quite a bit. I've played a decent amount of this.
And Patchouli, have you had a chance to play it yet?
No, I fortunately haven't had the chance to play it, but I've been watching gameplay videos, and it actually looks like something I would play. So I suppose that I'll be playing it next week or sometime about.
Perfect. And I think, yes, so Lightning JC, yes, Lapsapnow and I will be having, if he accepts my challenge, I don't know. I mean, I've had a total of maybe 2-3 hours on this game. He's probably had a lot more than me. But, you know, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to challenge him. I don't know. I think I've built one dreadnought in the game, you know. So, yeah, he'll probably wipe me off the map, but, you know, it'll still be fun. This is the intro, by the way.
It's fine. I'll go very easy. This self-assured comment.
Oh, I know you're gonna be me. I'm pretty sure, but it'll be a really good opportunity for us to show off the game. And a couple things before we get going here that I think are really important and relevant to talk about with this game is, well, first of all, this was developed by Stardock, the same guys who did Sins of the Solar Empire, and there's a lot of similarities. I'm gonna turn down the music here really quickly, just because you never know. YouTube may hate the music, so we'll just keep that right off for now. I hate that because music is so good in this game too. But so this is developed by Stardock Entertainment in conjunction with Oxide Games, and it's actually the lead developer of this is the same guy that had his hands in Galactic Civilizations and I think Sins of the Solar Empire, and you can really feel that in the game. Like, the dreadnoughts in this game are very much like the battleships. The maps are very much like separate little solar systems, and each one has their own little sort of orbiting resources that you can capture. It's so similar in that sense, except it is ground-based, and terrain does matter in this game too as well, which is really cool. But as far as the story goes, here's what I have so far, because it's really not a lot of lore in this game, and I think there is I think it's the Ascendancy Wars. There is one little. There might be multiple episodes, but there is one campaign, and I think to introduce the second faction, which is, so there's two factions. There's the Posthuman Collaboration, and then, or Coalition, sorry, Posthuman Coalition, and there is also the Substrate. Now, the story is, the year's about 2178, and mankind has reached the pinnacle of their evolution, renouncing their physical bodies for an existence that is one with machines. The only thing now that matters is this stuff called computronium, and it's a matter made of malleable, intelligent molecules that can exist in any form. And they've renamed the material Turinium? Turinium, I believe, in this.
Turinium.
Yes, and you start out as the Posthuman Coalition, who's reached this singularity. It's sort of, are you guys familiar with Ray Kurzweil?
No, not
Nope.
particularly.
Well, I followed Ray Kurzweil for a long time. Ray Kurzweil is one of these guys who's he was the first. He's a highly intelligent man. He developed the first system for the blind to be able to read. Not Braille. We're talking about systems that can actually read words and then repeat the words back.
Yes.
But anyway, he was one of the first person to develop these systems, and he was an awesome programmer. He was absolutely brilliant. And one of the things that he has sort of stood behind is this thing called transcendence or the singularity, whereas humankind will reach a point where we become one with machines. And it sort of follows along this line where human beings all of a sudden, you know, we become so in tune with machines that we actually take part of it. You know, we upload our consciousness. Not totally unlike the Johnny Depp movie, but I hated that movie. It was awful. You may have seen it, Transcendence. It was a terrible movie, and I think they based that on Ray Kurzweil, but it was a terrible rendition of what I think Ray Kurzweil had kind of imagined. But anyway, so it's kind of interesting that this, and that's what this is all about. And the Substrate are sort of the rogue AI, I believe, because there's not a lot of lore actually written on the internet. So there's the Posthuman Coalition, which is kind of the good guys, and then you have the Substrate, who are the bad guys. And yeah, so they both have, and two totally different factions have totally different abilities or different ways of growing their faction. But there is a campaign in this game, and I think it introduces you to the Substrate. I only went through a few missions just to kind of check it out. I've heard that it's more just a tutorial all the way through to, I mean, you get introduced to the dreadnoughts, you know, here kind of thing, right? You know, so well, it is yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, so I was just going to say, well, there is literally a dedicated tutorial.
That's right. But they do have a separate tutorial in the game as well, which was really interesting. It was a one map tutorial where they sort of introduce you to all the different game features for the Posthuman Coalition as well. But I didn't see a tutorial just for the Singularity, or for the Substrate. But anyway, so that's sort of the history of the game and sort of where it comes from. And like I said, I think comparatively to anything else that I've seen, I think it's closer to Sins of a Solar Empire than anything else, which is funny. It's sort of like, as Homeworld is to Deserts is to Karak, Sins of a Solar Empire is to Ashes of a Singularity.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so what shall we show off here, guys? What do we, maybe Luke, maybe you and I want to jump in on a game right away then?
Yeah, let's jump right into a game, and that way you can actually demonstrate everything, and since you're not versing an AI, you can actually take some time to actually build and explain.
Right. Okay, so I think we can create a public match.
Or a private match. You can just...
Or private match, sorry. Start an unlisted hobby. Huh?
Yeah.
Or maybe I could join with you. That might be easier. We actually haven't tested this part. In the meantime, or I don't know.
Well, it may be less load on your end if I host
yeah, that's
the game,
probably a really good idea.
Yes, and that way I won't have to suffer with lag. But then you'll have to suffer with lag.
That's
and
fine.
In the end, you are the one showing this. So actually, I think you should actually end up hosting this for your viewers' sake.
We should have maybe tested this. I hadn't even thought about testing this. Maybe that would have been a good idea. How about to start out, let's just show a skirmish match. Now, like I said, there is a campaign, but it's very, very short. From what I've read anyway, I haven't actually played through the whole thing. It is very short. I'm going to start out with a single player match. If you wouldn't mind maybe looking in, Luke, while we're doing this on how to start a match, that would be tremendous. And this way we can kind of show off what this game's all about. I am going to actually pick just a beginner AI, and we're going to pick the Substrate. So the game does come with 25 maps. I know because I counted them. Because I know that is an issue. A lot of these games get released with like 4 maps, and it's just like, 25 is a good start, I think. I think I think 25 would be kind of that minimum I would expect from a game like this. And there's a lot of really good 2-player maps. One of the things that always bothered me with games like this is you get just really, 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 really small maps, and they're just not enough terrain. Yeah. Whereas, like, I remember Supreme Commander had huge maps that were just so big. So I think in this there is one large. Let's just double check this. There's 2 larges. There's the Scorpio, which is a really cool map. Like, it's all over the place. Like, I don't know. It's kind of random. It almost looks like kind of randomy. Yeah. It looks really good. And then there is, of course, your typical maps where everybody sort of has the exact same start to as well. There's Anthis, which looks really interesting. Again, kind of a random map, but there was, I think it's the other large one that... No,
Shredded.
Yeah.
Shredded is the other launch one.
Oh, here we go, where everybody starts in exactly sort of the same position. And this would make a really good team map too as well. But hold on, let's just do a fringe. Yeah, this is one I was playing with the other day. So I'm gonna play as a Substrate. That's the only one I've really practiced with. They are sort of the typical bad guys, and I kind of practice on purpose with them because, of course, I'm gonna be, you know, battling with Luke. And I assumed, Luke, that you played more of the other one, but I'm not sure.
You are actually entirely correct.
Well, I knew what I was doing.
Because so I played this a lot. I played this a lot before the Substrate were added, so I obviously have less time to.
Right. Yeah. The Substrate are new, aren't they? Yeah, they're new.
Yes, they are relatively.
Mm-hmm. So let's just turn this just down a little bit because it might be too much. Yeah, having Command and Conquer flashbacks actually reminds me a lot of Dune. The whole Turinium, the substance that we're supposed to amass a bunch of, is actually just kind of reminds me a little bit like spice. We're searching the universe for this substance. Now, the bottom line with Turinium is it acts like a victory point condition. So, and there is a way to turn that off, and this was one thing that Patchouli was talking about.
Yes, I said that because I don't really like time limits in games, because it just feels way too restrictive and doesn't allow you enough freedom to build up really interesting things. Like, I like doing weird stuff like starting the enemy with 10,000 dreadnoughts or something, and you can't really do that on a time limit.
Supreme Commander just sending thousands of experimentals down upon the enemy base. And just watching
I love it.
Burn.
I love it. And you know, it's one thing that you know, like, you'll never see in you'll never see the amount of units like you can in something like this and in something like StarCraft. You can have literally thousands of units all operating at the same time. Another thing that's really interesting with this game, sorry, I don't mean to cut you guys off, I just have so much to say here.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Another thing that's really interesting about this game is that, let me try and play at the same time, this is going to be interesting. So I'm building an assembly right now. This is sort of the Substrate's main building for building frigates, cruisers, and aircraft. Very different from the Posthuman Coalition, where they have one building for frigates, one building for cruisers, one building for dreadnoughts, one building for aircraft. But anyway, so what's really interesting is that they've designed this to be able to run on DirectX 12. It's one of the few games that actually does run on DirectX 12, and that's if you're running Windows 10, you can actually run DirectX 12. And DirectX 12 has different ways of dealing with graphics processors. As a matter of fact, they've even tested this game to be able to run efficiently with multiple GPUs of different makes. They've had an NVIDIA and an AMD in the same machine, and the machine utilizes both cards. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Impressive.
Yeah. And running with thousands and thousands and thousands of units on the screen at the same time in 4K. And having it run flawlessly. It's the only game, I don't think there's a game out there that can run with different GPUs, let alone making use of those GPUs in the way that this does. Okay, so here's the thing. With the Substrate, they rely on power. Everything is about power. So you'll notice each one of our, well, I don't know if these guys, these guys don't have power, but most of your units actually rely on power. For example, the Reapers, which is kind of your first basic starting unit, has it's just a mid-range frigate that fires a weapon, and it uses power every time it fires that weapon. And of course, these are great starting units, but they are susceptible to running out of power, and then you can run into trouble. Whereas your martyrs are kind of, I don't know if I should, is anybody interested in me talking about these units? But I don't know, I think it's interesting.
Sure. I'm interested, go.
Okay, the martyrs are kind of your, sort of, they're a light vehicle that don't rely on power, so it's one of the few units that don't actually rely on power. You'll notice here, so these Reapers, they have an energy score here, so when they run out of energy, they stop working, and that's why eventually you can get access to things like capacitors, which travel with your units that actually recharge them as they go. But the martyrs are also really nice. So this building that I have here, what's really cool about this, so we have, actually, before we even talk about that, let's talk about our resources. So we have metal, radioactives, and this thing called quanta. Metal, of course, you can mine out of these little things on the side here. We use our constructor to build little mines, kind of like Sins of a Solar Empire. Imagine this as a solar system, and these are just little things around the planets or whatever, right? So that's right. And then eventually we can find little areas with radioactives around little solar systems. But instead of solar systems, they're actually power generators, and they're all connected by these nodes. So you'll notice here on the map, if you hit spacebar, it brings up a map, and each one of these zones is sort of marked in a little thing like this. And when you own it, it changes color. And they're all connected by these little lines. Kind of like, like I said, it reminds me of Sins of a Solar Empire, except you can go outside the lines, right?
Indeed.
So, Luke, just out of curiosity, how is this differing so far from the Posthuman Coalition?
Very much so. I mean, with the units in the sense of the power, the Posthuman Coalition don't use power. Not obviously, they just don't use power. All their units are basically self-sustained. They just shoot their good old bullets, and they don't have to have a capacitor run around with them. But yeah, so far similar. Quite, I don't know.
So, and just like all of these RTSs, of course, you can use control groups, and the controlled groups are just the beginning of this game. The control groups just makes units travel together more or less. And most of the typical controls for RTS is like control click for attack and move at the same time. Shift to add more units to the group. For example, if we want to hold, we can hold down ship and select these, and then control one, put them all together. Where this game starts to differ is because basically you never have to stop building units in this game. Of course, you're limited by the resources that you have, but it does get to a point where you virtually have unlimited resources, and then it's no longer about resource management at all. It's just about what units you build in what combination, because every unit has different abilities. And then once you start to get enough units, you can start, well, we could even do it right now. You can start to put units into armies, which makes multiple different types of units act as one unit. So you'll notice right here, right now, if we click on the Reapers, they have 3 energy out of 30. They have 1 in 65 shields out of 300, whatever. And they're doing their best to fight these guys. We're trying to take over this system, more or less, this power generator. But if we make this an army and we click on this button, they actually, all of a sudden, everything's all grouped together and it acts as one unit. So you can actually see their energy as a total, their hit points as a total, and their shields as a total. Really interesting. And the reason that's important is because this game, you end up dealing with thousands and thousands and thousands of units, it's virtually impossible to be able to manage that without grouping them in a way so that you don't have to micromanage their behavior. Acting as one unit, they will make the best use of their formations, like you can see here, to optimize the amount of firepower they direct at targets that you choose, which is really interesting. So, like I said, we take over these power generators. Once we've taken over a power generator, we have access to that node. Now, if, for example, we have a node here and a node here, and somebody knocks out this node, which is connecting to the next node, we lose access to everything that the second node is producing. You have to maintain that connection all the way through. So now we can take our constructors and we can build, these happen to be metal mines, and you can use shift, of course, and click and do multiple actions. So really handy if you're doing, whoops, I messed that up there. Really handy if you're, sorry, go ahead.
Yes, and as far as I understand, you don't even need to build the metal mines. Your metal, actually just having the metal deposits in your owned area, you will actually be able to generate a small amount of metal.
That's true. Yes, I think it actually tells you, this power generator itself is producing 3 metal. So for every 1 deposit, that we're producing 1 metal. And adding these mines will actually just enhance that. So now it's producing 4 metal. And I believe later on, because I haven't experienced this game to its fullest yet. Oh, and by the way, all of these guys that were fighting at these systems, these are neutrals. So just like Sins of a Solar Empire, you would go into a system and there'd be neutral players in the game that you could fight. So these are actually not the enemy. The enemy does not own these. It's just these are neutral guys that just happen to be there. So I kind of like that feature too. And I don't know if in different maps the neutrals are better. In certain areas, they're not.
No, they're pretty much exactly the same.
Okay.
Which is a little bit sad, but yes.
Because if you remember in Sins of a Solar Empire, of course you remember, you probably both remember, there was different zones that had different type of defenders.
There was like a pirate base at one.
Yeah, there was a dedicated pirate system, and you could hire the neutrals to go against your enemies and do stuff.
Right.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
So now we've taken a system, or an area now, that has radioactives. Radioactives are key for advancing into the more advanced stuff. So with metals alone, we can only build 4 types of vehicles with the substrate. We can just build the frigates. To do anything more in the game, you need to have radioactives. Radioactives are a little bit more difficult to get a hold of, so we're going to take over this area. And of course, because we've taken control of this power generator, we already have an income of 2 radioactives. And really at this point, even at this point, we should be not building units nonstop. I mean, there's really no reason not to do that. So what makes this really easy is you can set up what you want your queue to look like forever. So in other words, I could do 1 capacitor because I always want to have energy generation, couple martyrs because they're good for just kind of light defense, the reapers, which are heavy damage dealers with frigates, and our sky cleansers, which are anti-aircraft. So this combination of units, and then hit repeat queue, and I'm just going to keep that running forever. And of course, you can set that location of where you want those guys to form, and yeah, there you go. And eventually, the thing with the substrate is because that one building builds frigates, cruisers, and aircraft, you probably want to build multiples of them anyway, and have one dedicated to just building cruisers, one dedicated to just building aircraft, etc., etc., etc. For example, we could already... Sorry, guys, I know I'm just talking.
It's fine, it's fine. I'm actually playing a skirmish as the substrate right now.
Oh, are you? Have you figured out how we can do this multiplayer yet?
Yes, actually, I managed to create a lobby, so...
do you want to try that?
When you're done, sure.
Okay. Okay, so... now that we have radioactives, it opens up a whole bunch of different things, including defensives, and now we can also build probably one of the most important buildings, which is the Quantum Archive, which will produce a resource called Quanta, and that allows us to not only upgrade our civilization, in other words, allow us to have more command points and stuff like that, but it'll also allow us to upgrade units and do orbital actions. And the orbital actions is where this really starts to get interesting. I'm sure you can attest to that, Luke.
Yes.
So it's basically like research points then.
Yeah, it's essentially research points. And I don't know if there's a limit to how many you can build. I don't know. I don't know if they draw resources or not. I haven't really made it that far. But you can already see we have 100 quanta right now, and we could put some of that quanta into logistics, which will increase basically our command points, the number of units we can use, the amount of metal storage that we can have total. Right now we can have a total of 500. The amount of radioactive storage, the amount of weapon damage that our units do, weapon damage from units and buildings, unit health, as well as radar range. Now, where it gets really interesting is the types of units that we can eventually build here. So now we can actually build an advanced assembly, which will allow us to build dreadnoughts. And the dreadnoughts are very much like the battleships from Sins of a Solar Empire. Notice we're going very slow here, but I'm not too worried. The beginner AI is really quite pathetic. So as you can see, we've already built sort of a second little group here, and we're actually going to send them off this way to kind of go scout out there. And yeah, so dreadnoughts are where it really gets interesting. Dreadnoughts, I think with each faction, there's 3 if not 4 different types of dreadnoughts, all of them with very unique abilities. Just like in the first one, there's a carrier, or in the first one in Sins, there's a carrier, there's like a heavy damage dealer, there's one that does lots of damage to lots of little targets, you know, that same kind of concept. And as they gain experience, you can level them up and give them special abilities, which of course is amazing. And I think that's what really made Sins the best, was the ability to level up those battleships. The battleships were amazing. They were so good. So as
well as the Titans. Are there Titans in this game?
Well, there's the Dreadnoughts, which is, I don't know, is there anything bigger in that? I mean, I know there is a building, and I haven't built it. There's a gateway. I think it's called a gateway, and I can bring down some kind of bot that does something, and I haven't actually played with it yet. So this here, because I am playing with Trinium on, this here is a Trinium deposit. So these would be your victory condition areas. Now, you can turn off Trinium as a factor in the game, just so you know, it's just a switch. But if you're playing for victory points, you have to capture these areas. And after we've captured it, we gain so much Trinium per second or whatever it is, right? Okay.
It's an area control mechanic in which if you control more Trinium nodes than your opponent, you start getting Trinium points. So if you control one and your opponent controls one, you're at a stalemate and neither of you gets any victory points.
Yes, pretty much.
Yes, exactly what he said.
Yes, exactly what he said.
Okay, so, and of course, just like all of these games, there's some really good options for defenses too as well. There is there's a listening post, which is basically just a radar machine, which is great, and that'll actually, the radar is really cool. It actually has this it's this blue haze that sort of covers over everything, and when there's actually bad guys in an area, it kind of glows red. It's pretty cool. So we're gonna build one of those. There's also the Annihilator Cannon. The Annihilator Cannon is kind of your basic dumbfire defensive outpost. It does not take into consideration the terrain, so it won't shoot over hills, etc., stuff like that. Then you have your Blossom Launcher, which is your basic air defense, which launches these blossoms of shots. And sorry,
we say basic. They're actually pretty good.
Well, okay, they're pretty good. Okay, see, you would know better than I. And then where it gets fun, and my favorite. Sorry, go ahead, Luke.
That's fine. Go ahead. Go on.
Oh, the drones. I love the drones. I love the drones and the fighters in Sins of a Solar Empire too. So if you like drone actions and fighter actions in games like this, you're gonna love this too, because especially, I don't know if they have the drones and stuff in the PHC?
Yes, we have drones.
You have drones.
We have lots of drones.
Oh, that's good, because I love the drones. I think the drones just make the game. There's nothing like seeing a million little tiny ships shooting up stuff. It's just so good.
Great.
So there is a turret that's based on drones here. Let's get back to that here. There is the drone MRV, launches arcing drone pods at incoming ground units for heavy area damage. And of course, all of these can be used offensively too. I say defensively, but they can absolutely be used offensively. For example, I just happen to know that on this map, the bad guys are sitting in this area, and if I put one of these, I might actually be able to reach them with this drone MRV if I put it right there, which is really, really cool. So, and before we go any further, let's actually get started on a dreadnought. So with the Substrate, there are 3 types of dreadnoughts. There's the Overmind, which is, of course, my favorite. That's the one that acts as a mobile drone platform. It's a big carrier. Love it. And the Retributor, which is an offense-minded capital ship with a variety of weaponry. It's sort of the heavy hitter, I think. And then the Destroyer, the capital ship, quickly vaporized. All right, so this is the one that hits the bigger targets. It has large weapons, capital weapons that'll hit big enemies, and then the Assault Dreadnought will hit lots of little enemies a little bit better, right? And then, of course, you've got the Controller, which is the Overmind, which I absolutely love. So hopefully we have enough time to actually build one of these. And before we go any further, I'm gonna just go really offensive here, because we've got enough units, I think, to actually get up to the actual enemy. Up to this point, we haven't actually seen the enemy, so... Patchouli, what's your thoughts on this game so far?
It looks pretty interesting. I will definitely get to playing it next week, because this week is about to be over really soon. But yeah, I'm curious about the campaign and the lore of this. Mostly about the logistics of how they continues to reproduce when they're all machines.
It's a good point. How does everyone reproduce? Question.
Yeah, so now and then aircraft is another whole, just like with Supreme Commander. I mean, this is a slow way to show you the game, because the enemy, like I said, the basic AI is terrible. We've done nothing here. We've been talking the whole time, and the basic AI, we haven't even seen him. He's right here, and we are actually moving into his territory already, and he's done nothing. So now we're actually going to make this unit. Oh, we found some enemies. Here we go. So the thing is, if your units are not in a formed army, they may separate, so they will all travel at different speeds. So it's really important when you start to get a mixed group to make them into the army. Otherwise, you may find that they kind of go astray. For example, especially what's really bad with the Substrate is they have those capacitors, these guys here. So these units here, which just, they actually have no weapons at all. And they just supply all of our guys with power. The problem is, if you're not as part of an army, they won't maintain the same speed as the rest of the group, and they will travel ahead, which is not good. So it's really important to make sure that your guys are set up as an army. That's really key. So let's do let's get some aircraft going here. I think we're ready for that. And of course, you can build anything, anywhere on the map. There is no limitation in that sense. I know how some of these games, some RTSs will limit you, on where you can build stuff. I think you can even build stuff on zones that you don't own. I think. I'm not even sure.
Yeah, you can.
So really, yeah, there's no limitation like that. So I could build a front assembly up here and just start launching aircraft right in their face. It's amazing. Although this is risky, theoretically we should also be putting, you know, some defenses here too as well. And maybe some annihilator cannons and a blossom launcher, whatever. Like I said, I'm not too worried about the enemy here. Luke is just getting a good grasp on how I play, which is very, very slow.
Oh, don't worry. I play very slow. I'm actually versing a normal AI, and it is killing me because I was spending all my time listening to you. And thinking about other stuff.
Actually, we're going to speed this up a little bit, too, as well. I don't think... can you adjust the speed in multiplayer? You haven't tried the multiplayer yet, have you, Luke?
No, unfortunately not. Like I said, I just don't have anyone to actually try it with.
Well, good news for you today.
Well, I say that. No one with a highly similar ping, shall I say.
So, just a word of warning. I don't think, if you do have Windows 10 and you're looking to record this game, I don't think you can record it if you're playing on Windows 10. With DirectX 12. I don't think so. They may have fixed that, but the last I heard, you couldn't actually record it.
Well, I'm doing it. Well, I'm actually recording this currently, so...
on Windows 10?
Yeah. I'll check
Are
it
you using
afterwards.
DirectX 12?
I might be. I should probably check that.
I'm really curious because I know that was an issue, and I don't know if that's been resolved or not.
Well, I shall check my recording afterwards.
Okay, so I think we're ready. Orbital. So this is Quanta. Now I think we're ready to start working on some of our Quanta stuff. So I don't remember. So Quantum Archive. We have Quantum. Oh, we never actually finished building any Quantum Archives. Oh man. Okay. All that talk about it, and then I never actually built them. Okay, so let's get some Quantum Archives going here. I don't know why that didn't work. Weird. There we go. Yeah, so that's where you can start to get into things like orbitals, which is really cool. So there's 5 different types of orbitals. There's the energy modulator, and it unlocks the boost and overcharge of orbital calldowns. So it unlocks the boost, and yeah, so we can boost things like you can actually set a boost on, say, for example, we're running low on radioactives or something. We can actually boost this power generator temporarily for like 10 seconds or something and increase the amount that this is producing, and it gets more expensive every time you use it. Then you have the subspace streamer, which unlocks the detonate and regenerate orbital calldowns. So detonate, I'm not sure. I haven't seen a lot of these. Avatar. I think the Avatar is the one that I'm talking about. It's the gateway. So I can bring now this unit that not only has firepower, but it can also build things. So it kind of reminds me of Supreme Commander, the leaders, like the whatever they were called.
Yeah, the AC.
Yeah, there were carrier ships and.
Why am I losing ships? Or why am stuff just got blown up? What's going on?
Yeah, here's an interesting point. Interestingly enough, artillery can most often outrange base defenses and actually outrange your line of sight.
So they're using artillery on me. I had no idea.
Super.
Okay. I see. Yeah. All right. So maybe these guys are better than what I thought. I mean, I was working really slowly here. But as you can see, we've got some of our turrets actually fighting off. He's got some cruisers built. Oh yes, and then the cruisers. There's a whole different line of buildings or vehicles called cruisers, as well as the aircraft, as well as the dreadnoughts. Cruisers also serving very specific roles. That's why the combinations of the vehicles you build are so important. You've got the anti-building cruiser, which does nothing but shoot buildings. It doesn't have any other weapons that are armed towards other vehicles. But as far as destroying buildings, it is excellent. It launches these weapons that actually melt buildings. It's crazy. And then you have the anti-frigate cruiser, which is a vehicle that disperses large quantities of small firepower, perfect for destroying smaller vehicles.
Turinium level.
Then you have the area control cruiser, which is again another little hive vehicle which launches a whole bunch of fighters or drones, which is amazing. I love them. They're great. And then the Mauler, which is your heavy duty with a big, large main cannon, perfect for probably, you know, sniping larger vehicles like cruisers and maybe even dreadnoughts. So yeah, so and the combination at which you put these in your queue, because I'm being really slow here. Normally I would expect to have 3, 4, 5 assemblers all working at once to the limit of my metal and radioactives and just mass producing, but it's the combination that you're mass producing these at. So if I was producing heavy destructors, of course, I would be going after buildings, but then would I have enough defense to be able to maintain that force against Luke's, you know, vehicles that are designed to destroy the cruisers, right? You know, his Mauler version, because I think they're very similar for the PHC, aren't they?
Yes. We also have our anti-cruisers and anti-frigates and anti-building stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, it comes down to it's more strategy, because me being able to produce these has nothing to do with how quickly I clicked on things. And of course, I could have gone way faster. I could have been producing more assemblers. I could have been taking over more territory. Absolutely. But it has nothing to do with how many little guys I've got back and forth collecting resources like you would in StarCraft, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we need to get some aircraft going here too.
Yeah. Especially since everything is literally just gathered for you, basically.
Well, that's the thing. So it's all about strategy, and it's all about those combinations that you put forth. So let's see. Do we actually have... Oh, I didn't mean to put my... Ah, shoot. Okay, so orbitals. Let's look at this gateway, because I'm really curious. This is the avatar. So it'll probably take a minute for him to build that, but that's okay. So it looks like... Oh, so this is the enemy base here. It looks like we lost all of those units because I wasn't paying attention, which is great. We're actually going to make these guys an army, and we're going to bring them in here. Now, these constructors should repair buildings. I think if they're close enough, they should repair buildings. Yeah, so and you can actually set them on a control, I think, right?
And they also repair units, by the way.
Oh, they do. They repair units too as well. Okay, good to know.
It's very good.
Okay, and we should have... Oh, we don't have a dreadnought because we lost our dreadnought. Or we lost our dreadnought factory. So, yeah, I'm not doing very well. Luke, are you ready for a battle?
I am indeed. I have actually now switched over to the PHC, and I'm actually just kind of quickly getting a little army, just a little skirmish going with an AI. So yes, if you're ready, I
am ready.
Exit out of this.
I've never been more ready.
I've never been more ready.
Never been more ready. But of course, I'm going to be feeding you all the information of what I'm doing, so...
That's quite alright, okay. Private match. It's interesting.
So I have to find you, right, somehow?
No, it's fine. I've created a private match so I can actually invite friends. Let's go find Deluks Gaming.
I might have to be online, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're offline, so you might.
Okay, so I will switch online here. Just
I wonder if I can actually send it to you while you're offline still.
Oh, you did send me something. Hold on.
I did indeed.
Hold on. Back. Try that again.
Okay. Invite friend. Invite.
People are rooting for you. Will's rooting for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
That's good.
Good stuff.
I might have to. I'm just gonna exit out and I'm gonna go online here. There we go.
I'm happy with that. Ah, Deluks Gaming is online. Your enemy is ready for you. Okay, let me just make sure that let me actually just check how this recording went. Oh, okay, it was actually perfectly fine. Good. Okay.
So Patchouli, if and when you do pick this up, I'd love to challenge you as well. I think it'd be super fun. Actually, you know what'd be really fun? And one of the things I really enjoyed with Supreme Commander was cooperative. I really liked that. Whereas, you know, you and a buddy both picked the same faction, whatever, and then you go hard on like a lot of AI. It just gets intense, you know, that the constant stream of enemies coming at you. It's so much fun.
Beautiful. Oh man, I just thought that there was co-op in campaign, and I was like, what? There was campaign and I missed it? And
oh no, this was there even a campaign in Supreme Commander? I don't remember. I always played Skirmish.
There definitely was.
Three campaigns.
There were 3 campaigns for each faction. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
Also,
I vaguely remember that. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, okay, Deluxe, I've sent you an invite. You need to actually accept it.
I don't have anything. Where?
Okay, let me try this again. Invite friend, Deluxe invite. You may have to check the chat. I don't know. Open a message with me and see if it pops up there.
Hang on, 1 sec. Okay, so click here to join. There we go! Yay! Ah, perfect! I love
Okay,
it.
good. And I'm actually going to record this because people are no doubt going to want to see my view of this.
Your brilliant skills, your mad skills. Is this a map we're playing? So we're gonna do what? Mano a mano.
Or would you like a bigger map?
I don't care. A small map is fine because I don't think we need to go too crazy. Otherwise, this is gonna be a 4-hour show.
Anyway, but a bigger map is useful just so we don't know exactly where each other is.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Proxima, I think, good. Do we want victory points? Or...
We can turn that off if you want, because my goal is to punch you.
Alright, I'll turn that off.
Map trade.
Neutral,
Yes, and neutral. Yes, for sure.
everything's good. Okay. Start, random, good. Team 1, Team 2, PHC, Substrate. Good. No bonus resources, eh? Good.
No, I don't think that's necessary. Except I want to be green. I have to be green. Sorry.
Okay.
There we go. See, red insinuates I am actually bad. Green, you're like, he is bad, but he's not really bad. You know, I don't know.
So he could be a good guy. We don't know. All right, let's start this game. Ready up.
Oh, perfect. Just like that. And start game. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Begin combat operation.
Okay, Patchouli, as per usual, you are my military advisor.
Treat as just.
Yes.
Please don't crash my recording.
Even though I do not know that much about this game, I will try my best.
Yeah, but you know, it's some of these things are universal, right? I mean, you know, if I'm not building nothing's happening, by the way.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay. Oh no. Okay, I know what. Okay, my firewall actually blocked ashes. So let's just. I'm gonna have to close this. Sorry, Deluxe.
I will turn off my firewall as well, just to be sure. And now everybody's gonna come and attack my thing, but that's okay. Firewall is already off. Okay, so I will. It looks like it's completely crashed on my side, so
yeah.
I will start Task Manager. Yeah, but Patchouli, I mean, there is, you know, like if I'm not building any aircraft or something, you know, like you can go, Deluxe, moron.
You should actually build aircraft as the first thing that you build. Just build one
a scout
or a squad of plane and scout the entire map.
And I believe the scout in this game does have some weapons too, as well. Like it's some light bombing weapons, I think. So that's kind of cool. So let's try this again.
Oh my gosh. Steam now thinks Ashes of the Singularity is still open.
Oh, same here.
Oh, yeah,
no.
Okay, I'm just gonna... Oh, damn it. What are we gonna do?
Steam? Hold on, let me... Steam. Maybe I can kill it in the processes or something.
But it's not
there. We go. Ashes. So I'm killing it in the processes.
Okay.
So go to your task manager and
kill
it.
Don't worry, I know.
Okay. I know. There we go. Now it's working.
There's Ashes of the Singularity. And end process tree. Thank you. Annihilate that little pinata. Good.
So Windows thought I was attacking you with Ashes of the Singularity. See? even your Windows is scared.
Windows is scared. Don't worry, this is why I open my windows and tell it to be quiet. Unless the dogs bark, in which case I close my windows. But this is an illiterate conversation of erratavility. I have just chucked my jacket off to the far corner.
I don't know if the stream's working anymore. Hang on.
Okay, well.
Uh-oh.
It's working for me.
Is the stream working now, guys?
Yeah, it should be working.
Okay.
It was just a black screen for a few moments.
Oh yeah, because I had to reload the game. Sorry about that, guys. All right, good. Okay, everything's working on my side. Excellent. Oh, Luke, how you doing?
I'm good. Creating private match. Okay. Blue team, invite friends. Deluxe, invite sent. I am waiting for you to accept the invitation. Accepted.
I got nothing. Did you sent me an invitation?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, here we go. Lapsapnow. Admiral von Schneider is sending me messages. That's why. Couldn't see it.
All right, let me choose a nice map for this.
And then turn off the victory points, and then away we go. Yay! I'm so excited. Oh, and I need to be green.
Proving grounds. No, I want Proxima. That's what I wanted. Okay, VP's off. I'm blue. You're green. I've begun my recording software. Hopefully, everything's ready. Ready up, Deluks.
Oh, ready up, ready to go, and here we go. Start game.
Start game. 4, 3,
counting down
2,
this time.
1, 0.
Uh-oh.
Don't be excellent.
I think it's working. Yay!
Is.
Yay! Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, well, you know, when I first saw this game, I wasn't even that interested in it. I don't know. I thought it was just, I don't know. I didn't think much of it. And actually, after I played it for a bit, I'm really enjoying it far more than I thought I would. So
right,
yeah, I win. I'm coming for you right now, Luke.
Good.
Be ready.
Just tell me. I'm ready, man. Just tell me if the lag's like too much or something.
Actually, so far it seems to be running really well on my side. I don't know.
Oh, good.
Is it working okay for you?
Obviously, I'm the one hosting it.
Well, yeah.
But yes, as far as I can tell, yes, fine. Good. Good. That means they also have good network code. I'm glad that people have good network code.
Well, the thing is, I would be really surprised if they didn't have the strong multiplayer set up already, because I mean, like I said, with a very small campaign and stuff, this game is all about skirmish and multiplayer. So they have to get those pieces right, and it is based on they probably used a lot of the same code that they used for Sins, and Sins is tried and true, right? So, so let's.
I also noticed that the game has ranked multiplayer matches. So if they're going for some competitive gameplay, they absolutely have to get their netcode and multiplayer right.
I'm really curious to see how popular that is. I wonder if they've really spent a lot of time with that.
Well,
I mean,
the game just released, not yet popular at all. I would assume it should be given some time.
But it was out on early access for quite some time.
Indeed.
Okay, Luke.
It was. Okay, Rob.
Luke, lap-ups now.
Yes, Rob Deluks Gaming.
We actually don't play enough against each other, Luke. Thing is, I see you as my comrade, so it's like, it seems wrong to fight you, but I think it's important. We need to fight each other in order for us to fight together.
It's like sparring.
It is. It's, yeah.
I suppose, yes. Yes, indeed.
Okay, we're gonna keep these guys up here. I'm actually we're gonna get these guys going already.
Scouting for me, brother.
What? Okay.
I'm sorry, what? I said, are you scouting for me?
Oh no, somebody was shooting at me already, so. Yeah, by the way, the constructors are not that durable. They go down very quickly.
Yeah, they only have your engineers.
The guys, well, mine are called constructors. If you're cool,
okay.
They're called constructors.
If you have a proper military, they're called engineers.
Oh, Luke, soon you shall learn the way. You shall learn the way of the dark side, Luke. I just had to say it. Your name's Luke. I had to say it. I'm sorry. You can't tell me that you haven't heard that in your life before.
No, I will never fall to the dark side. Bracket throws lightsaber on the floor. Bracket.
I am your father. I had to say that. I am your father.
That's quite alright. You may be my father, but you will be nothing like my true father. Anyone get that reference? No?
Your true
Too
father?
vague?
No, I don't get that one.
That's fine. May or may not be because I made it up.
Okay. Haha!
Yes, I presume you're scouting. I mean, not I presume.
I don't know what that was, but it sounded awesome. He's trying to distract me with his craziness.
Which is good because I don't even have to try.
Do you need like any special buildings to build aircraft?
For me, no.
For me, I literally just need the aircraft building.
But for me to build aircraft, I do need to have a supply of radioactives, which I'm just getting right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
That means
I can build the aircraft in the same place that I build the frigates and the cruisers. So very, very convenient. And I'm spending a lot of resources on my basic ground force here already. Don't tell Luke
Not
though.
enough metal.
Don't tell Luke. Don't worry, we won't tell him. I don't think he knows.
We're gonna send all these guys off this way.
That's good.
And we're gonna keep these light guys separate here for now. Actually, we'll keep them right here. All right, so, but what I'm gonna do, actually, to appease you, Patchouli, is we're going to build another assembly plant just for aircraft.
Oh, fancy.
And then, of course, we are going to build the big assembly plant, but we need to get more materials here because, as you can see, even though our production hasn't stopped, it's slowed down to a crawl because we're actually in the negative by 8 metal.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the negative by 14 metal, so I think you're doing good.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he's actually... Well, pretty soon we're going to be pretty low because we're trying to build the Dreadnought thing too as well here, so...
Oh, okay. Well, that's absolutely horrifying.
But we're going to...
Hello, I found your base. My little scout drone just found it.
See? Yeah, you know what, Patchouli, you were right in that we should have been building aircraft already.
Good, yes, we now know all of his troop movements, his units are here, there, everywhere, and we may even need to go squash a small pinata, because reasons.
Pinatas?
Pinatas! Yes, have you never heard of the wild, vicious pinatas? Which roam the lands, seeking for blood.
Nope, haven't heard of that, nope.
It's an old story, don't worry. Few people really care about the old man who tells it anymore. It's been a few years.
Oh look, this guy has a little pew-pew can that does nothing.
Yes, yeah, the pan, as it's called. I see, you're fortifying your base. Good.
Well,
Good, you have your units over here. You have quite a nice army. You don't seem to have any anti-air. That's perfect. Send in the bombers.
I think I see what he's up to. Actually, we're gonna beef this part up for sure. These here, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, these are anti-air, anti-drone frigates. So I believe that they also shoot ground targets too as well, but they're not that good at shooting ground targets. These guys are primarily for anti-air.
You know what you should do? You should try to position some of your forces on the high ground. It should probably give you better vision, and whoever has high ground wins the game forever.
Yeah, that's something. You're absolutely right, but it's something that I haven't. Oh, he's actually. Is that you shooting at me, Luke?
What do you mean? Oh yes, that is my little pan.
Son of a. Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry, he does. Look, he only does 2 damage. The poor little thing.
Okay.
He wants to feel like he's. Oh, hello, Deluks. I found your units. Excellent.
Oh, is that you? Oh,
Yes.
son of a. Okay, we don't.
Visualize planetary bombardment.
Okay, so yeah, I could just. The thing is, if we retreat, we're probably gonna lose everything. So we might as well just do as much damage as we possibly can. He's already got artillery units. I think those are archers, aren't they? Yeah. He's got these. They're like light little missile units, and he's got his little primary frigates, which just do tons of damage. Between those two, actually, we're probably outgunned here. And if you don't actually have any capacitors in this army, we should probably retreat. And actually, this is a bad idea. We need to get...
We need more.
We're in trouble already.
It's fine.
We need to get these guys out of here. Okay, so yeah, I made some critical mistakes already. Not preparing anti-aircraft, and I didn't expect to see him that quickly, and not preparing scouts. That was the other thing. So, okay.
You could also build defenses on the ground. That way they shouldn't see them when they fire.
Oh, this is interesting. So I sent these guys to go back, and they're going over the hill. That's really interesting. What if that's
there's actually a little
more
path.
logistics.
What, Deluxe? Sorry.
No, I'm just see terrain. That's something I haven't explored too much. Most of my units that I have that are frigates don't have the ability to shoot over hills. I don't think the Reapers can anyway. Really need to get some cruisers going and stuff, but we just don't. We've got lots of radioactives actually. We could actually. What we need is Quanta. See, there's a lot happening here, and I'm just not quick here at all. Okay, so let's get some of that going.
Oh, hello! I found your other scouting force.
Son of a.
This time I'm going.
He's coming this way. This guy, actually, as soon as he's done there, we're going to send him up here. What we should do is build another engineer. There's hotkeys for all of this stuff, by the way, guys. I'm just not very good at this.
It's all right.
Not enough metal.
Yeah, and I think. Yeah, we still haven't exploited this one, and he retreated from here. So let's get this taken over for sure, 100%, and get all of that stuff built. And these guys here, let's get these guys in group 3. We're gonna send them out to help out with this, and keep building defenses over here because we know that Luke guy. Actually, we should get a listening post here too. I don't know. What do you think, Patchouli?
We need more logistics.
Patchouli?
Patchouli?
We've
lost Patchouli. My military advisor is down.
You should have defenses on that hill up high, overlooking your base.
Up here?
I don't actually see where you're, because there's no screen share. Right?
Oh, I didn't realize that. I am so sorry. Why didn't you say something?
Oh, it's okay. I can just watch the stream.
Okay, so I've got, yeah, this is really like my computer's going like working overtime for this, so I don't want to put on screenshot right now actually. But yeah, there's this hill right here. You'll probably get to see it in a second, but I could put some stuff up there. That's actually not a bad idea. I don't know if I have any artillery like. Oh, see, he's coming in. He's Why did I not build defenses here? I don't think I built a blossom here, which is my bad.
That's alright, it's just a pan. It can't do too much. It literally can't do too much. And your Annihilator's actually repairing quite decently. Actually, no, I am actually killing it slowly. Oh, dramatic.
Yeah.
Dramatic.
I wonder. No, this is all. That's fine. We'll keep this. We're going to move these guys back in here.
Don't kill my poor pan. He just wants to fry some eggs.
It's a pain in the butt.
I bet it is.
I don't even know where am I? Okay, there. So I thought I built another engineer, but he's probably mixed in here somewhere. That's one of the things. I mean, it's hard to tell what units you have in a group. I mean, you can go in here and take a look, but I don't know how to identify them by the icon yet.
You could expand the shield icons on the top left of your screen. It would show a breakdown of your units like in Sins of Empire.
Okay.
Sins, yes. Oh my gosh, I'm an absolute idiot. I forgot to be building quantum relays. Oh, I'm an absolute idiot now.
Quantum upgrade
so
installed.
very bad.
Okay, we definitely.
I'm gonna say that.
Also, Rob, you should be spending your quanta on upgrades so that it doesn't go to waste.
Does it go to waste? The quanta? I'm just wondering,
I suppose there is a limit to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know. Is there a quanta for limits? Do you know, Luke?
I'm actually not too sure, sadly.
Well, even if there is no limit, you should be getting an upgrade as soon as you can afford one, so you get the upper hand sooner than later.
Damn, these medics, what are they doing?
Okay. Well, I did do the logistics upgrade, but you know, I think.
Yeah, that's gonna be my falling down. The fact that I actually didn't get logistics upgrade. So you're going to out-pop me quite quickly.
And we need to get some, Actually,
I fear, Deluks, you shall be defeating me today. Primarily due to the fact that I've neglected to actually
the Punisher, armor piercing. So the Punisher is a heavy bomber that with armor piercing. And the Dominator, these are the aircraft. Versatile anti-air with anti-ground fighter. And then we've got the unarmed scout aircraft. So that would not be part of my regular group.
Best bombers are actually...
Wow. Deluks, could you kindly... Yes.
Not enough metal.
What's that, Luke?
Oh, nothing. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's nothing. I'm not mobilizing an entire army on your most unprotected areas.
You mean this red spot over here? He's coming up over the hill. You know, he's doing exactly what Patchouli was telling me I should have done, is guard that hill.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this area and cut you off from your resource supply. Kindly do not push further into this area. I have a lack of units to substantiate your force.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Yes. I mean, am I saying that, or do I actually just have a dreadnought coming to crush you as we speak?
No, you don't.
I don't. I really don't. Don't worry. You're gonna win that battle. But
okay.
I'm gonna cut off your base.
Long overdue. We need to get this stuff established.
Flank him! Flank him! Quickly! While he's caught in that little narrow pass. Flank him! I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry.
Perfect. See, now we could have stayed on that hill, but we need to make sure these guys are actually operating as an army, because...
Oh my gosh, actually...
So that's a turret. Oh, that's a turret. We need to get...
Actually, a turret.
That is a turret. Okay, so I actually wasn't... Sorry, what that was.
Please say hello to bombs.
There should be some anti-aircraft in there. There was, anyway. It may have been blown up already. Oh yeah, there's some anti-aircraft, but not enough. Those bombs were devastating. Wow! Well done. Okay, so...
As you see, I saved them strategically to hit you while you were nice and bottlenecked.
Yes, bombers that
I'm actually
with a lot of choke points which they could utilize for the AoE bomb drops, and they're actually absolutely devastating to dreadnoughts. Several squads of bombers almost take down a dreadnought with one shot.
Really? Okay.
Where did my entire army go?
Oh, that? Did you want that back?
No, it's fine. Don't worry. This is exactly what I get for not paying attention. Anyway, bomb him quickly. Send all the bombers. Prioritize anti-air forces.
So we're gonna get a couple more of these guys.
Now you see, Deluks, this is why you're going to win, because I'm thoroughly unobservant.
I forgot. Oh, that's what I did. Okay, so we do have some aircraft, but I forgot to put that on repeat queues. So that's an issue. I gotta remember that. So do they land? Do the aircraft land?
Not as far as
Or do they just keep circling?
Pretty sure they just keep circling.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay.
I don't think they run out of ammunition.
I thought I had some anti-aircraft there, but it doesn't look like it. Okay,
no,
so
you do.
I do?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it.
Well, I don't know. I guess you just don't have enough.
Oh yeah, they're there, but you know, I think I need to beef it up. You've
actually taken out 2 of my bombers. So, yeah, and now I have my main army moving in to attempt to relocate that, capture that. Because actually, I had it moving up to that area where I. Funnily enough, Deluks, when I bombed you, that actually wasn't even the intention. I actually I realized I had bombers left over, and I was like, oh, I should use these, shouldn't I? There's actually a lot more luck here than any level of strategy. Deluks?
Yes!
Hi. Yeah, sorry. I'm just making sure you're still there, because you're just deathly quiet.
Yeah, you came in and you, hold on. Oh no, here you come. There we go. That's okay. Because your bombers, I've really kind of beefed up some anti-aircraft here, by the way. But you still did a substantial amount of damage, actually.
Oh, thank you. All right, come this way. Chase my bombers, please. Chase them. Come.
Okay.
Come along.
I think definitely. Is there an anti-aircraft cruiser?
There is.
Area.
At least At least in the PHC, yeah.
Or is that the area control cruiser, like the drone cruiser?
Yeah,
would that be
the area control
Yeah.
cruiser is
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah, it has all the other things. So.
okay?
It has all the other things, I just say. It's funny.
Quantum upgrade installed. Installed.
Okay.
Quantum
So
upgrade
now the
installed.
next thing that's really important. We need to get some of these orbitals set up, because that's where we're really going to excel here.
Indeed. Also, Deluxe, have you been spending any resources on unit damage and health?
Maybe.
I'll take that as a no.
Actually, I just did like 2 seconds ago. I just put them up to level 1. So how far up have you been putting yours? I'm just curious. Like, how much time have you been spending on that?
I already have damage and health at 1, so I think I'm down.
Rob, you should scout the center of the map for aircraft.
That would be a good idea if I
Dreadnought
hadn't
initiated.
heard you say that.
So one of the things, you can hold down the spacebar and actually send your scouts out like this. It's just a little bit easier. I mean, and as you can see, if we look at the path here, I've just kind of clicked everywhere so that we can kind of get a really good idea and keep him moving too. That's the other thing. And then when his final destination over here. So yeah, good, awesome. So now he probably owns way more territory. I haven't been spending enough time. Oh shoot!
What's up, Deluxe?
I didn't realize you had a little force up here. All I have is capacitors and anti-aircraft. No! Run!
Take it down. Take it down.
Okay.
Oh, it's funny. I actually didn't even notice it was just that. I actually thought it was a decent force, and I was like, what? No, we're highly outnumbered. Oh wait, these are capacitors. Darn it. Okay.
There's also a device called a regenerator, which restores shield integrity of nearby units. So I think all of our units have a shield too as well, which is kind of cool actually. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the Substrate have shields. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh look, there's stuff up here too. Okay.
There's stuff. I love stuff.
Yeah, stuff is good.
Stuff is always great. I'm gonna get more metal income because that's fun. I like it. I like fun.
Okay. The problem is it gets to be so much going on, but guess what, Luke?
What?
Things are going to change.
Because you have a dreadnought?
No, maybe.
I have one too.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Don't worry. No, it's fine.
So these dreadnoughts, so for those of you that are watching, these are amazing. So as you can see, this is the, Luke, close your ears. This is the drone dreadnought, this is the Hive. And it's similar to other things that we've seen, like in Sins and Solar Empire and stuff. Yeah, you can't hear anything. And if you're curious...
Luckily I actually just jumped off before I heard it, but I'm about to scout your base, so that's
oh yeah?
Yeah, with bombers. I'm scouting your base with bombers, I'm gonna bomb your engines.
Now, will my fighters automatically attack you?
Yes, of course they will. As well as your base. Your base actually has good idea, so I'm getting my butt kicks. Which is, yeah, okay, that's dead. Good. That.
So, again, it's important to make your groups into armies. Here we go. See all the drones? The drones will go in and attack, which is amazing. I love them. They're so great. Look at them. And your machines, so your dreadnought, they will... Oh, I don't know if I can actually click on the dreadnought now that I'm getting army. No, I can't. So let's just unmake this an army for a second so that we can show this off. So the dreadnought has plasma bolts, which are armor-piercing energy weapons suitable against any land-based target, as well as the drone manufacturing massive chamber housing nanites that constantly replenish 3 swarms of deadly drones. Now, you'll also notice there is a level indicator here, so the more stuff that he destroys, the better he becomes, and then you can choose different abilities. I don't know if you can actually see the abilities here or not. I haven't played with them because I haven't made it that far in the game. So I don't know if he's trying to lure in my dreadnought here or not.
Come along, come here, little cheese ball.
Little cheese ball. Now the dreadnought is very, very slow.
Yeah, luckily, so it means I can actually just cut you off and kill it. So, you know, if I need to.
Yes, dreadnoughts may be amazing and powerful and all that kind of stuff, but they cannot do that much alone. A dreadnought without support units, without medics to heal it, it will go down very, very fast.
Yeah, I don't even know. Do I have a medic unit? I don't think I do. I think that's because I think we have the regeneration pods or whatever there. Oh, what's that? What did you just do here?
I thought it
Well, since
I
you're
was actually
playing
expecting it to be that
race,
bad.
Dreadnought upgrade.
Alright, Deluxe, this is...
energy.
Okay, Deluxe, prepare for the most epic battle we've seen lately. What?
Yes.
Prepare for an epic battle.
Enemy
We have
dreadnought.
Dreadnought
Holy crap!
versus Dreadnought.
That's okay.
Yay.
Holy crap!
That's fine. Prioritize fire on the enemy thing. Okay, you're very good. I'm glad.
The
Good,
problem
good
with
Dreadnought.
the Hive Dreadnought isn't so good on his own. He really needs a lot of support because... And see, Luke has the big baddie that's really good at just attacking one unit. Isn't that the one? Like, he's got the big guns?
Yeah.
No, that's their area denial dreadnought. So it's area denial versus area denial.
All of my units got crushed instantaneously. That was
Sorry
amazing.
about that. Okay, I'll ease off your Dreadnought for now.
No. I want you to finish this battle because otherwise this is going to be a very long game. And we only had an hour for the show and we're already over time. So Luke, destroy me.
Okay.
Make me pay
Okay,
for my crimes. So we could you'll notice here, guys, that we also have some abilities that I instant repair, for example. I can use that right away to instantly repair. Instead of taking some special ability, I can use that to instantly repair my dreadnought, which is really amazing. But I lose that bonus ability, which is awful. Because I think there was something else we could have done there, and or maybe that is just all you can do. But there was repair all drones and repair my shields, as well as instantly heal the dreadnought. So I chose to instantly heal the dreadnought because we're almost dead there anyway. I did not play very well. Luke is definitely far better at this game. So the aircraft might help here.
One that because he was attacking from the high ground to the low ground, and most of your units weren't able to fire up at him.
That is actually a good point. Well done.
And he's coming at me from two fronts here now, which is incredible. And he really, you had the advantage of metal. Like, I wasn't making really good use of my resources. I actually hadn't captured all of my areas fully. You did far better than I did overall.
Oh, I thank you.
Yeah.
And now I've just grabbed weapon upgrades too, so this should be more painful.
And there goes the big hive is done.
Oh, that was awesome. That was actually beautiful. I actually have a second dreadnought coming as well. So.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Look at our metal. Our metal is dropping because all of our factories are still trying to produce, but we've lost all of this territory. We can actually see it here. We still actually own, even though we own these 3 zones, because we're cut off here, we no longer get access to the resources that they are producing here. So apparently I still have units up here, maybe.
Yes,
that shows how well I've paid attention to things. So.
Oh yes.
No!
It's actually decently difficult to destroy a Nexus or a base, whatever it is called. It's actually got some decent weapons. Not enough, but enough to fend off early attacks quite easily. Which is, I think it's actually very good that they basically said, no, you can't immediately kill Smith's base like in the early game. There is no early game. There is only mid game and late game.
Yeah, you can't send off a bunch of Zerglings to destroy the base. So,
yes,
well
I support that absolutely.
Well done. Thank you, Luke. I really appreciated that. Yeah. AVS is like, so close. It wasn't close at all. What are you talking about? I did not play well at all. I was slow. I was laggy. I was laggy. The game was fine. But no, Luke did great. He made use of the resources he was collecting. He also built up his forces as he kept me occupied. And he made use of the high ground, like Patchouli said. He also made use of aircraft early on, which I think is a key to these games. Even Supreme Commander, like, you needed to build aircraft early on. It was key. Yeah. And then he came in full force from multiple different directions and crushed us. It was a beautiful thing, Luke. Anyway, guys, I hope you...
Game.
Any other thoughts about the game before we end Crash Test Indy today?
In short, it is a great, great game. Honestly, it's a good game. Balance-wise, lots of different units that serve their own individual purposes. Very, very strategic play if you play it right. If you were to have two high-skilled players, I can imagine some amazing games to watch. And additionally, these games do not end quickly. These, as I was saying, literally just before Deluks, literally before the game ended, Nexuses, your command centers, have weapons of their own, very powerful weapons.
Really?
They can deter. Yes, they can deter pretty decently sized, like, beginning game attacks. And basically that means that you can't lose immediately, which I love. I love that fact. It's unlike StarCraft. It's unlike Supreme Commander. In fact, no, it's like Supreme Commander. Even Supreme Commander. With Supreme Commander, your ACU, your armored control unit, had weapons of its own. It had a lot of...
That's right. Yeah, it had the big... Oh, I loved that. That was great. That was. Yes. I love the big guns. Yeah.
Yeah, and it could defend itself. And like here, your bases, although they're not mobile, they can defend themselves, and that is excellent for making the game just a lot more enjoyable for both the loser and the victor, because both of you, or at least the loser doesn't feel like... Sorry?
No, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
No, I was just going to say that... you know, you can't lose immediately as the game begins. Just because someone built a few extra units more than you doesn't mean you're immediately going to die. And your base does have a decent amount of income, and you can build a little force to retaliate. But, like, yes, I think that's nice.
And
so as you're saying...
Exactly what you're saying, like, and some of the games that you watch, like, I've watched a few online, like on YouTube and stuff, and there'll be multiple fronts going on all at the same time, and just because, and these are long drawn out battles. Sometimes the battles take a really, really long time, so it really gives you that feeling of a war of attrition, where, you know, even just a little bit of a tip on one side, but you lose a front on the north, but you'll win the front on the south, and the war will go on for a long, long time. I love that. I love that these things don't happen. You know, you don't get wiped out because of a silly mistake immediately. I just played poorly there, but I mean, you get the idea. You get two relatively skilled players would make for some just excellent viewing. I hope that we see more and more of this on Twitch and see, you know, maybe.
I hope so too.
Yeah, and I do have one criticism. Actually, before I have voice my criticism, Patchouli, any thoughts on the game itself?
Let us not compare this game to Forged Alliance, because no RTS can stand that kind of comparison. Yeah, it is, as far as I see, a really good game, and so with the technology involved in its creation, it has gained even more of my attention, as you know, the developers have to integrate that sort of technology and set a new standard for the games. So with this game now on the scene, I suppose we'll see more and more games getting this sort of DirectX 12 and cross video card compatibility. Overall, I think it's a really good game, both in terms of gameplay and the technology involved.
Well, this multiple GPU thing is actually something that's it's not necessarily specific to this game. I don't think. I think that it's a DirectX 12 feature and a Windows 10 feature. And one of the things that they're really showcasing with Windows 10 and why you would want to put Windows 10 on your machine and use Windows games from the Windows Store, etc., is because you can make use of that DirectX 12. And another thing that's really interesting about DirectX 12 is that it really optimizes games for AMD chipsets, for the AMD GPUs. However, if you're running an NVIDIA actually runs DirectX 11 so well that there's very little difference between DirectX 11 and DirectX 12. However, the difference, the big thing is when you're running into 4K, and when you're running 4K, DirectX 12 is almost absolutely essential with a game like this because of the amount of lights that they can have presented on the screen, which is apparently a big thing, because you can have thousands of lights and thousands of units going on at the same time, and DirectX 12 just handles it better and feeds that information through the GPUs faster than DirectX 11 does. One of the complaints I do have with this game, and I think it's one of the only ones, is I think that the terrain, although it is nice, I find that now there's actually two minor things. One minor thing. I used to, at the beginning of the game, when I first loaded this up, I used to be able to hold the middle mouse button and pan down and look side, change the way I was looking at the angle at which I was looking at the ground so I can see the terrain a little bit better. Now, all of a sudden, I can't. And I don't know why. It's like at the beginning, sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. It depends on how long I've played the game. And that may just be a bug. Maybe they don't want you to be able to do that. I don't know. But if I was able to angle, I'd be able to see the terrain a little bit better. The other thing I have with the terrain is it's kind of bland. I find that the terrain, like, there's no trees, there's really...
There are some.
There are some,
but they're microscopic, aren't they?
I'm presuming that's because the game, there's so much going on that they've kind of limited the amount of stuff. And I'm not running on max, by the way. I'm certainly not running on max, and I'm not running 4K and all that kind of stuff. So maybe there's a little bit more if I was running on max. But I'm running on high settings. But the other thing that bothers me is that, this world where everything levitates. I find that this is actually a little bit more of a serious complaint. I find that the feeling of everything hovering sort of takes away that feeling of weight and that really heavy metal battle feeling. Like I don't have any tanks, stirring up dust on the ground as they travel. And that's why even more so it feels more like a Sins game, and it feels more like it could be in space. There really is no difference except for the height of the terrain, which I can't see all the time because I can't pan up and down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So aside from that, I really think that there's a lot of value in this, and maybe those little things will get fixed, and maybe they'll add some vehicles that will actually travel on the ground and offer some of that feeling. But I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'd really like to be able to pan up and down properly so I can actually see the sideways view a little bit better, so that I can understand that terrain. Aside from that, I think what they were trying to accomplish here and build an RTS that was based on strategy and the ability to have thousands and thousands of units operating all at the same time without having to massively micromanage everything. I think they accomplished that, and I'm really looking forward to playing more of this. And, I'm going to practice up a little bit. Like I said, I've only had a few hours, and I will re-challenge you again, Luke. And Patchouli, when you get this, I will challenge you as well.
Excellent.
Well, you know me. I will probably get this.
Yeah. Patchouli, let's have a game, man. Let's have a game later on. But yes, so
we'll see if that would be possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys,
so, Deluks,
I'm gonna call this. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, Luke, how do they get a hold of you?
Ooh, you can get hold of me in a manner of ways. I mean, if you want to get hold of me, I do have an email, which is lapsapnow@gmail.com. But I actually have a YouTube channel, which is, I suppose, good. It is Lap Apps now. LAPAPSNOW. No, wait. Yes. LAPAPSNOW. And I do strategy games, I do first-person shooters, I do space games, I do all that sort of ilk. And yeah, I don't upload too regularly, but I do occasionally. Yeah.
And Patchouli, where can they get a hold of you? If you want them to get a hold of you. You may not want anybody to get a hold of you. I don't know.
Yes, I'm totally paranoid and I don't want anyone knowing anything about me ever. But if anyone wants to talk to me for whatever reason, I'm actually on Skype. So you could add me there and give me a message. Or you could go to the last channel and there's a little thing called Guideline Violations in his suggested channels, where I put the stupid stuff that I make in my free time.
I really, you know what, Patchouli is a good person to know. He's highly intelligent, and he researches the crap out of things that he likes, and he always has really important, pertinent information and contributes a lot to my channel. And that's why I have him here, is because he's intelligent, and I enjoy his commentary. So also, just so everybody knows. So everybody knows, I have sort of really started to embrace the Steam groups, and I do have a Steam group. It's Deluks Gaming. Look me up and join the group. I've been kind of in this place where I've been sure where I want to really focus my social media efforts. But I do have the Twitter, which is at Deluks Gaming, and I have the Facebook, which is Deluks Gaming. But really, where I want to be spending most of my time in terms of communicating with the people that surround me in the community, the gaming community, is Steam. I think that's the place to be, because I know those people are there for games, whereas I don't always know those people for Twitter or Facebook are there for games. So if you want to get a hold of me or talk to me, that's a great place to start. Is come on to the Deluks Gaming group. My friends list is full. It's perpetually full. So I apologize for that. But yeah, definitely come find me on the Deluks Gaming group on Steam. Anyway, I hope you guys have all enjoyed Crash Test Indie Weekly. I know it was a little slow there while we tried to play a little bit, but Luke successfully crushed me, which was really fun. And we'll be back next week with another indie title, and hopefully we'll have our co-host back too as well.
Yes, and by the way, I will also be uploading my perspective on this battle on my channel. So if you go there, it's linked in Deluxe's. Please support my comrades area. So if you go there, you can actually watch this all from my perspective.
Yeah, so if you want to see somebody actually play the game properly, go check out Luke's channel, because I did not do very well. I was a very poor example of how to play this game. We didn't even show off any of the orbital stuff. Oh man, that's too bad.
Oh, we should have.
Yeah, like orbital strikes and stuff. Yeah, it's so cool. Some of that stuff is really great.